Hi, it's story time. It's actually one of my favourite times of the day. And today I'm going to read you this story called Little Beaver and the Echo. It's written by Amy MacDonald and illustrated by Sarah Fox-Davies. Now, the other day I read a story called Elmer's Walk. And in the story, Elmer was listening to an echo. And I thought, I wonder if the children know what an echo is, because Little Beaver certainly doesn't. And I thought I'd explain, and then you'd see why Little Beaver gets confused. So, an echo is when a noise comes from one place, like out of my mouth, and it travels and bounces off a wall or a mountainside or a stone or a rock or a tunnel. Tunnels are good for echoes, and it bounces back. So the sound goes out in sound waves, hits a wall and bounces back, and it sounds the same as the noise that you've made or the noise that something else has made. That can be quite confusing. So see how it confuses Little Beaver. Little Beaver lives probably somewhere like Canada, where there are lots of lakes and huge ponds, and where these sorts of animals live. And they live in other countries as well, but they live a lot in Canada. And the boat that Little Beaver has is called a canoe. And these canoes are very typical of the canoes that you find in Canada. So have a look on a world map and see if you can find where Canada is. Some bits of Canada go up very, very close to the Arctic Circle and are very, very, very cold in winter. But in summer, they're beautiful. And this is where the story is set. Little Beaver lived all alone by the edge of a very big pond. He didn't have any brothers. He didn't have any sisters. And worst of all, he didn't have any friends. One day, sitting by the side of the pond, he began to cry. He cried out loud, and then he cried out louder. Suddenly, he heard something very strange. On the other side of the pond, someone else was crying too. Little Beaver stopped crying and listened. There, you can see him listening. The other crying stopped. Little Beaver was alone again. "Boo-hoo," he said. "Boo-hoo," said the voice from across the pond. Said Little Beaver. Said the voice from across the pond. Little Beaver stopped crying. "Hello," he called. "Hello," said the voice from across the pond. "Why are you crying?" asked Little Beaver. "Why are you crying?" asked the voice from across the pond. Little Beaver thought for a moment. "Well, I'm crying because I'm lonely," he said. "I need a friend." "I'm crying because I'm lonely," said the voice from across the pond. "I need a friend." Well, Little Beaver is amazed. He couldn't believe it. On the other side of the pond lived somebody else who was sad and needed a friend. He got right into his boat and set off to find him. Just turn the page. It was a very big pond. He paddled and paddled. And then he saw a young duck swimming in circles all by himself. "I'm looking for someone who needs a friend," said Little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the duck, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "Well, I'll be your friend," said Little Beaver. "Jump in the boat and come with me." So the duck jumped into the boat. They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young otter sliding up and down the bank of the pond all by himself. "We're looking for someone who needs a friend," said Little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the otter, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "We'll be your friends," said Little Beaver and the duck. "Come with us." So the otter jumped in to the boat. Looks happy, doesn't he? They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young turtle sunning himself all alone on a rock in the pond. "We're looking for someone who needs a friend," said little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the turtle, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "We'll be your friends," said little Beaver, "and the duck and the otter. Come with us." So the turtle jumped into the boat with the others, and they paddled and paddled and paddled until finally they came to the end of the pond. Here lived a wise old beaver in a mud house he had built for himself. Look at that. And it's really true that beavers do build these amazing homes. Little Beaver told him how they had paddled all around the pond to find out who was crying. It wasn't the duck, he said, it wasn't the otter, and it wasn't the turtle. Who was it? They want to know, and they're going to ask this wise old beaver. "It was the echo," said the wise old beaver. "Where does he live?" asked little Beaver. "On the other side of the pond," said the wise old beaver. "No matter where you are, the echo is always across the pond from you." "Why is he crying?" said little Beaver. "When you're sad, the echo is sad," said the wise old beaver. "When you're happy, the echo is happy too." Look, little Beaver is talking to the wise old beaver, and his friends are waiting by the canoe. Very patient. "But how can I find him and be his friend?" asked little Beaver. "He doesn't have any friends, and neither do I." "Oh, except for me," said the duck. "And me," said the otter. "And me," said the turtle. Aha! Little Beaver looked surprised. "Yes," he said, "actually, I have lots of friends now." And he was so happy that he said it again very loudly. "I have lots of friends now." And from across the pond, a voice answered him. "I have lots of friends now." And he does, doesn't he? Little Beaver's got 3 really good friends and the wise old beaver. "You see," said the wise old beaver, "when you're happy, the echo is happy. When you have friends, he has friends too." "Hooray!" shouted the little beaver and the duck and the otter and the turtle all together. And the echo shouted back, "Hooray!" And that is the end of the story. So even though little Beaver didn't know what an echo was, by trying to find a lonely echo, he found lots of fantastic friends. So that has a very, very happy ending, that story. Okay, well, I will see you again very soon. Have a good day.